Monday night's WWE Raw brought one of the most emotionally charged segments of the year, a return to intensity and old rivalries, culminating in an explosive moment that no one saw coming. As the world watched, AJ Lee broke her long silence, stepping back into the ring after a decade away, and delivered a resounding slap to Seth Rollins, not just as a heel move, but as a full-blown statement tied to personal pride, betrayal, and long smouldering tension. The confrontation involved Seth Rollins, his wife Becky Lynch, and CM Punk, a storyline intersecting history, personal bonds, and rising stakes. A brief history: AJ Lee, CM Punk, Rollins, and Lynch. To understand why this moment lands so heavily, one needs to remember the intertwined histories here. AJ Lee, once known for her outspoken personality, memorable rivalries, and a career cut short by injury, notably neck issues, has been away from WWE's squared circle for around 10 years. She retired in 2015, stepping back after a string of injuries and after being part of many defining moments for WWE's women's division during its earlier evolution. CM Punk, her husband, returned to WWE in recent years after a long absence himself. In that time, he has feuded with various top names, and his return has provoked a mixture of fan excitement and skepticism. Seth Rollins, meanwhile, has been among top stars, multiple times champion, known as the Visionary, a strong in-ring performer and a polarizing figure. Becky Lynch, Rollins' real-life partner and a force in her own right, often called the Man, has a history both competing and collaborating with them, with her own pulls of sympathy from fans when storyline blurs with reality. So when WWE teased a mixed tag, Punk and AJ Lee versus Rollins and Lynch, it carried not just match stakes, but emotional resonance. Many fans wondered, could AJ's return reignite old rivalries? Would she be the catalyst of chaos? The build-up, the face-off on Raw. On the September 15th, 2025 edition of Raw, weeks of tension came to a head. With WrestlePalooza looming, a big premium live event, WWE naturally positioned a face-to-face segment between the two power couples, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. Rollins and Lynch made their entrance together, dressed in matching leather-accented gear, projecting both confidence and swagger. The crowd buzzed, some chanting CM Punk's name, which irked Rollins visibly, as Becky stood beside her husband. Punk and Lee entered not long after. Lee's return was one of the most anticipated moments in recent WWE memory. After all, she'd been away so long, injuries had kept her out, and expectations were high. She looked strong, determined, fiery, ready to reclaim not just her place in the ring, but her voice in the ongoing narrative. The provocation and the slap. The escalation started with words. Rollins, always sharp with insults, told Punk that involving his wife in their feud was a mistake, that Becky and himself would handle things. He insinuated that AJ Lee, having been out so long, might struggle physically, mocking how she might handle inexperience or rust. He said something to the effect of, "You better hope your man doesn't leave you when things go sideways," staking both a personal and professional jab. AJ Lee, visibly angered, stepped in. Something in Rollins' tone, the smirk, the implied doubts about her returning after injury, boiled over. In that moment, she reached forward and slapped Seth Rollins across the face. Not a light tap, the kind WWE uses to punctuate dramatic tension, but a stinging, authoritative slap designed to shock and silence. The sound crackled through the arena. Rollins staggered backward, his eyes momentarily wide, looking toward Becky Lynch, perhaps expecting her to intervene. The reaction. Becky Lynch, CM Punk. Fallout. What followed was a swirl of reactions. Becky Lynch, initially glaring at AJ, looked torn, whether to protect her husband, to fade into the storyline, or to assert her own strength. As AJ retreated slightly from the ring edge, Becky stormed out, walking up the ramp off camera. Passionate fans wondered, was she giving AJ more space, or was this part of a larger plan? Meanwhile, CM Punk surged forward, but not into a reckless brawl, more a protective, measured response. He called out Rollins, shouting for words, perhaps pushing forward to defend Lee. Rollins, still reeling, made a cheap shot or two, trying to regain control of the moment. Then, in a twist, Becky Lynch reappeared. She slid back into the ring from behind the barricade, unexpected and dramatic, and delivered a manhandle slam to AJ Lee. The move drew gasps from the crowd. A former champion, returning after injury, getting slammed hard. And then, as though to seal her side of the confrontation, Becky slapped Punk across the face twice. The guest couple, Punk and AJ, reeled, but not completely defeated. Rollins and Lynch stood together afterward, arms linked, having shown unity. The moment closed with tension in every direction, the audience buzzing, commentators trying to keep up, WrestlePalooza now feeling like more than just another show, but a battleground with unresolved anger. What it all means, layers of tension and symbolism. This wasn't just wrestling drama. This segment tapped deeply into themes that WWE and wrestling storytelling generally plays with. Pride after absence, the physical toll of time, male bravado versus female agency, loyalty in marriage, and what it means to return after being written off. AJ Lee's return and vulnerability. AJ Lee hasn't been in the ring in 10 years. Her body, especially her neck, has been a cause for concern. Returning from that kind of injury is not just physical, it's psychological. Her taking the slap meant more than a storyline beat. It was her insisting she still matters, that the return isn't just nostalgia. She wasn't going to be belittled, questioned, or treated like a guest in narrative. Seth Rollins' role as provocateur Rollins has built part of his persona around being confident, sometimes cocky, always sharp with words. In this segment, he played the provocateur, attacking AJ's absence, weaving Becky into the feud, pressuring Punk emotionally. But the slap showed that provocations have consequences. Rollins may control much, but tonight he got caught off guard. Becky Lynch, protector and power. Becky Lynch has often been seen both as the man in WWE, loud, demanding respect, unafraid of conflict, and as someone who uses her relationship with Rollins in storyline, but won't back down when things feel personal. Her reactions, storming off, slamming AJ, slapping Punk, demonstrated she's both aligned with Rollins, but also very much her own person in this narrative. CM Punk's position, Punk, in many ways, has been the emotional fulcrum. His history, absence, return, criticism of Rollins, tension with Lynch, gives weight to every word. He doesn't hit women, per WWE rules or storyline, but in this story, he's defending his wife, trying to manage his temper and the situation. The double slap from Lynch adds fuel. Now he's not alone, and the tension is mutual and fully visible.